this together today, being that you guys have joined us for all of the training sessions, just to go over any questions that you guys may have. I know that this is something new and it was a lot of information at a time, so I'm sure there's some questions and I'll be more than happy to address those today. I wanted to start off with showing you how to turn off your pop-up blocker. So let me actually share my screen. So there has been, I would say the top issue with iStore has been the pop-up blocker, that some people just don't see it or it doesn't ever pop up for them. So I wanted to make sure that we are all familiar with how to turn off the pop-up blocker, just in case. So this is Internet Explorer, the one that I have open. We're going to go to Settings, then Internet Options. I believe it's under Privacy. Yes, here under Privacy, this would be selected, but we don't want it selected. So we want to unselect the where it says Turn on Pop-up Blocker, and then click Apply and click OK. And I can show you how to do that as well in Chrome. I'm opening up Chrome. We would go to these three little dots up here in the top right-hand corner, and click on Settings. And I believe it's under Privacy and Security. Security. Let's see if I can find it. You can also search. I'll just search it. Okay, it's under Site Settings. And if we scroll down, we go here to pop-ups and redirects. And this will probably be blue, checked like this, saying that they're allowed or that they're blocked. So you want to have it blue for allowed. You can also add the link to iStore under where it says allow. So it's asking what sites do you want to allow pop-ups for. So you just click on add, copy and paste the link into here, and then it should allow the pop-ups for iStore. So the pop-ups that I'm referring to, let me go back to iStore. So it's about 100 parts of ZEKS parts that have a corporate match. So that's what I'm referring to. When you go to your cart and you're trying to put it in there, like this one, for example, you put it in here and you click on Fill Details and a pop-up window will pop up for you. And I do want to let you guys know that the ZEKS part number doesn't work. The ones that have a corporate match, they don't work in the quick search option or in the ATP check because it thinks it's an error. You would either need the corporate match number or there's a workaround for it. So you would just have to add it to your cart. So this one, as you can see, this is the part number that I entered, which has a corporate match, and it's here. You can add it to your cart. So and then you click on check availability and click go. It's going to check the availability and price of everything in your cart, but this way you don't have to have the corporate number in order to search up the availability of that item. So this one is available. Let's see here. I also want to provide a refresher really quick on how to add the PO. So we did ask that for the first couple of orders until you get comfortable with iStore, that if you could please attach your PO to the order. You can do that only through this first page of the shopping cart. Under Actions, you go to Attachments, click Go. And then you just go to Add Attachments, you browse for the file and attach it here. So this is how you attach your PO. I know we get a few questions about that. So let me go back. So I just want to start off with kind of the top questions that I've seen. So I've also seen there's been some issues with selecting the addresses. So let me go ahead and show you. So if you've ever used a ship to address, it should be in the system. Like if it keeps a record of pretty much forever. So it's very useful. So here we are under ship to information address. We're going to go to select. It's very useful to, instead of searching by the customer name, using the street address number. So for example, this last one is 1060 Old Burnville Road. If we just search 1060, it'll bring that address right up. So it's sometimes more useful to just use the street address rather than the customer number, so that iStore can pick it up. Another reminder I wanted to give you guys is that if for some reason you don't find the address and you need to create one, we go to create address. If you could please add the alternate name, so the final customer name here where it says address line 4. That way it prints out correctly on all the packing information. So again, this is only when you can't find the address or when it's a new customer and you need to create a new address. This is where you would do it. And we ask that you put the customer name where it says address line 4. We do have a request with our IT team to get this fixed, so it shouldn't be a problem too much longer. But in the meantime, if you guys could please make a note of that and remember to put that on address line 4. So that is pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. I'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Feel free to put things in the chat if you need to. And this is really just an open forum. I just wanted to go over the top things that I see and then go over any questions that come up. So have at it.
Hey, Leslie, this is Chris. I just wanted to chime in on the pop-up blocker. If I'm not mistaken, and I actually haven't done it, but if I'm not mistaken, when you allow the pop-ups to show up by moving that one slider, you'll allow not only the iStore ones, but certainly any other perhaps nuisance ones that come up. I think the part that you said where you add the URL to the acceptable pop-ups to show it. I think what they'll do is when the pop-up blocker is off, they'll still allow that URL's worth of information to come through. So I could be wrong, but I thought that's how that worked.
Yes, that is true. It'll allow pop-ups for every website, so that might be your best bet, is to just put it on your allowed sites, as Chris mentioned. So if you guys are having issues doing that and you want to go over that today, I can help you. It looks like we have something in the chat. Okay, so if I put the correct... So the question says, okay, so if I put the correct customer name in line 4, then that's what the pick ticket going to the customer will have on it? Yes, that is correct. It'll have the final customer's name and then the address. Sure. There is a... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that, so just so they know, like line 4 is where they're putting their customer's name, and then address line, what is it, Leslie? Is
1.
It 1, right?
Yes.
1 would be where you're putting the street address.
Yes, thank you, Claire. Okay, so there's another question in the chat that says, there is a section to view quotes. Are you able to create quote requests on the iStore? So the quote functionality that's in iStore is for special prices or special discounts. It's called a quote because, well, you would already have a quote and with a discount, and you come and put it in the system for it to be approved and be processed into an order. As far as like pricing and availability, you can do that as well, but not an actual quote. the section that says quotes in iStore is referring to those special discounted orders. No problem.
Quiet. Don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy. No question is a dumb question, like they say. And I'm sure that if you have a question, someone else probably has the same question. So,
Hey, Leslie,
yes.
can you show an example in the section in the shopping cart where you're selecting from the drop downs, the shipping methods?
Yep.
Oh,
So,
that's a good one to cover.
let's go to our cart. Let's go, like, we're checking out. Go to checkout. And Noemi is referring to the shipping methods. So if you want to have your order shipped prepaid and add CPT, you would want to select FedEx, parcel ground, preferably. And that's what we use as our carrier for prepaid and add. And if you want to use collect, of course, you would use whatever carrier you have. Usually it's UPS, so we would use UPS parcel ground, and then include your shipping information and your collect account number here.
And there's other if you go to that drop down box again, there's other services available for parcel as well besides ground. You can see UPS and NDA for next day air, SDA is second day, TDS is third day, and the same with FedEx.
Yes, and if you guys recall in the training invitation, there was a parcel shipping method paper that gives you the definitions of what these abbreviations mean. That way, you don't have to be guessing.
And
But,
there's just to point out that not all of these they're in here, but we don't use them. Just be careful when you're selecting the FedEx services. The ones that are commonly used are the ground shipment right here, the FedEx parcel GND. The one below it just means it's international, so be careful when selecting these that you pick the appropriate ones. In case anyone doesn't know, our primary carrier is FedEx for parcel, unless you have a collect account for UPS.
And then also, do you want to talk about the LTL, Leslie? So
yes,
or I can. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's an LTL shipment, for a dryer, or maybe for some larger compressors, if you're doing if you want to do prepay and add, you would select that top one for best way LTL standard. If it is a collect shipment, you would use the one right below it for customer carrier, and then just specify the carrier information in that collect account number box on the right hand side there.
So it looks like we have some questions in the chat. Thank you, ladies, for the input. Okay, let's see. When will all the product be in iStore? We have had a number of items that were not valid. So there's an example. Let's make sure. There are some parts that are not orderable through iStore, and we are keeping a list of highly requested items so we can get those added to iStore. So let's check this one out. Item not found. Yep, this one's not orderable through iStore. So I'll add this to the list. As I said, we're keeping a running list of items that we need to add. But at the beginning of the process, we kind of scrubbed the list of items that we were going to put in the system and what we weren't. So in the case that you have an item that isn't orderable through iStore, but you have multiple other items that are in iStore, you can put the order in for those items in particular, and then just put the order on hold and reach out to us or your inside sales rep and let them know that you need to add that one part, and we can do that for you. Or if it's the only item you're ordering, you know, just send us the PO and we'll enter it for you. It's no problem. But if you come across an item that you repeatedly need and it's not found, you know, please send it to us, to the inside sales rep, so we can add it to our list and get it added to iStore. Yes, I will show you how to attach the PO. So let me delete this. I'm going to go home, and then I'm going to the cart, and then I'm going to the shopping cart. Since I already have items in the cart, I'm going to go to, well, this is actually the page. The very first page of the shopping cart is where you add the PO. So it'll look like this. It says shopping cart. It has the promotional code at the bottom that we actually don't use. And then under actions, you go to attachments, click go. And you just click add attachments, and then browse for whatever document you need. So let's say it's that one, apply. Oh, I was missing the description. And there you go. And then you just go back to your shopping cart and finish your shopping. And this is actually the only place where you can attach the PO. So just an important reminder that it's the very first page.
Now, Leslie, if they forget this step and they go all the way before checkout, can you show them how to go back?
Yep. So we would have, if we go through the checkout process, so I clicked on checkout here in the top right, then you would fill out the information. So let's say that we want this prepaid and add. So let's do FedEx parcel ground. Let's say it's an emergency. For the request date for parts, we do ask that you allow us 2 business days. So since today's Tuesday, we would put Thursday. We want it to ship complete, yes. So then we go to the next page. And then this is just your billing information, and you put in your PO. Next. And then it takes you to the review and place order page. So right before you submit it, you can just click on back. You do have to go back through the entire page, but it should just be 2 clicks and then cancel, and it takes you back to the active shopping cart, or you have to go to actions and then attachments and all those steps that I showed you. So there is a way to add it if you get to the end and realize you forgot it.
Thank you.
No problem. Is the inventory current in iStore? Okay. Let me make a note of that part number. The inventory should be current, but we have come across some issues. So I will take down that part number and look into it, make sure that it's corrected in the system. I'm sorry, Claire, were you going to say something?
I was going to say something to Kelly. I tried to bring up this part number, but it's not coming up. I don't know if it's missing, might be missing a number. Can you double check that, Kelly? I'm going to try something 141.
23141.
Oh, so Leslie, that part number is 620224. And that should be an orderable part. Could you check that while you're in there?
Yeah, is this the corporate match number?
Yes, the one that she has in there.
Okay.
But this is our part number. I just typed it in.
I apologize for my dog.
I was wondering whose dog that was.
Okay. So I'm going to just use the cart to check. So I'm going to add it to the cart. And then check availability. May 11th. Is that what you see in Oracle?
Let me check that. I mean, that's a part we always have on hand. So let me just no, we have plenty on hand.
Okay.
So we'll have to check why that date is so far out.
Yep, I made a note of that too. So we'll look into why it's not accurate. But yes, if you ever see something that's looks funky like this and it has a long lead time, please reach out to us so we can confirm. Go back to the chat. Are there plans to add additional dryer configurations to include some of the more common options, or should we continue to send those to our inside sales rep? Team Claire. At this time, there's no plans to add additional dryer configurations, so yes, we do ask that you continue to send those into your inside sales rep, and we'll get them inputted into the system for you. Okay, I noticed earlier today that you may have added 2 numbers at start of inquiry example muffler 680454. Can we search via part description versus part number? No, unfortunately, iStore isn't intuitive enough to where it does it by description. It has to have the part number. It also cannot guess like partial part numbers, so it needs the entire thing, unfortunately. And we do have a recorded session of the training. If you guys need that, let me know and I can send that to you guys along with this Q&A session. So if you guys want a whole overview again, we can send that to you. No problem.
Okay. No more questions? Oh, something. Oh, person is not here today.
Okay, I will send that to you, Pam.
Okay.
to have any more questions. Okay, Mark, I got you down as well. Yes, I do suggest that you please attach your POs, at least for the first few orders. That way we can verify everything looks good and avoid any shipping problems, at least for the first few. Have the inside contacts changed? Who is the Southeast contact? They have not changed. I do sometimes email from this Region 1 email box, and that's just because that's how we handle our iStore questions. So you might see an email from me from that email address here and there, but nothing has changed.
Okay. Well, certainly if anybody has any questions, they can feel free to contact the inside sales reps, myself, Noemi or Jessica, or Leslie. I know we've been getting emails, with just general questions for things, but certainly we're here. You can reach out to us anytime.
Yes. I don't want to hold you guys if you don't have any questions, or if anybody wants to stay on and maybe go over how to remove the pop-up blocker, I can help with that, or try to help. I'm not an IT guru, but I can try.
You do good.
Oh, thanks, Claire. And like Claire said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always here available to help. Even if you need us to schedule a one-on-one session, we can do that for you. So let us know. I don't want to keep you guys. I'll hang out here a few more minutes if anybody wants to stay, but feel free to drop off if you don't have any questions. And again, I did record the session, so I'll send the link out. But if you're disconnecting, thank you for joining us.